Are we back? Are we back? Can you hear me loud and clear, people? Can you hear me loud and clear? Our last broadcast was interrupted. It was interrupted. We talked about the Iran versus Israel war, and they stole my audio. But we are back. We are loud and clear. I know you can hear me, chat. Say you can hear me, because I can hear you. And I guess we're back now with the whole Epstein thing. I started out my first show 700 videos ago. You can look back at my first one. I talked about Jeffrey Epstein, the deep state, the Israel ties. He was a Mossad agent, right? And he was here to blackmail United States politicians, United States citizens, all on behalf of the government of Israel and the IDF. Kash Patel, Dan Bongino lit us all down. They're all running cover. Trump got shot in Butler. Trump changed. I'm just going to state the facts that are obvious. We bombed Iran's nuclear facility, which they have no nuclear facility. It reminds me of WMDs, weapons of mass destruction. But here we are. We're back. And I guess we're going to have to dive into this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing again, because I guess the deep state don't want you to know about Jeffrey Epstein. You know, he's a dinosaur. You know what I'm saying? It didn't exist. His partner, Ghislaine Maxwell, is serving 20 plus years in jail for trafficking children. But there's no list. Nobody's on it. There's nothing to see here. Trump got upset today about we were still talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And remember when they pulled out all those binders? They gave all those influencers binders about Jeffrey Epstein. Phase 1. Well, here we are. Phase 2 is Jeffrey fucking Epstein did not exist. He didn't exist. He's a myth. He's a legend. You know what I'm saying? He offed himself in the cell. They put out the tape, right? Didn't they put out a tape of his cell room? And where's that at? There was a minute missing. They are so incompetent because they're not that smart. They're the fucking nerds, bro. They're the fucking nerds. They weren't the baseball players throwing no-hitters. They weren't hitting home runs. They weren't hitting touchdowns. These are the dweebs, the dorks that don't got no base, ain't got no nothing. They even fake their SAT scores. They fake their colleges. All of them. Ted Cruz, all of them. All the politicians are bought by the Chinese, the Israels. It's not America no more. There's like 6 of them. There's 6 of them. And I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot vote your way out of this. It is impossible to vote ourselves out of this nonsense. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to dedicate this from here on out to how we get out of this situation. There's only one way to get out of this situation, and it's going to give everybody knowledge, power, and respect. Because we're busy. You know what I'm saying? We're busy. You got kids. You got jobs. You got to eat. You don't care about, James Comey of the FBI and his daughter is the prosecutor of the Puff Daddy case. You know Puff Daddy from his music. And you're like, oh, what? Baby oil Puff? Puffy up here baby oiling people. He got J-Lo allegedly carrying guns, shooting in the club. Y'all remember that? No, because they control everything, but they don't control this channel. What they could, and I feel like they do little stuff to stop this channel, but we're just gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it 100, okay? We're gonna keep it 100. We had a great Independence Day. Did everybody have a great Independence Day? July 4th was lit. It's always lit. Back up, Terry. Terry, back up. back up. Put it in reverse. Terry, put it in reverse. You know what I'm saying? Lighting off the Roman candles. Got the Yeti cooler out there, keeping the beers cold all night, baby. All night. When you live in the South, you got to make sure you got a good cooler. But you don't see, Yeti don't put no sponsorship into this. But some of y'all go out and be like, oh, Uncle D got a Yeti? I'll get a Yeti. See, we don't get no love, but we don't do it for the love. Because if we did it for the love, shit, we would have gave up a long time ago. But we're here only to let people know that the United States government is compromised. They're all compromised. And they've been compromised for a long time. They assassinated presidents. They make up countries. They just do whatever they want. They do whatever they want. And now I'm hearing they want to do amnesty. They want to do amnesty after the big, beautiful bill was passed. Amnesty? Didn't ICE get $150 billion to export the illegal? Didn't they get $150 billion to export the illegal? And now they're like, nah, we're just going to give them amnesty, you suckers. You suckers. We're going to give them amnesty. And now we're going to take that $150 billion and we're going to spread it out. We're going to spread it out among our people, because it's nepotism, but I get it. And most of these people, they ain't got no backbone. So, I won't get my check. I still want to drive my boat up to Potomac. I want to drive my boat up to Potomac. I'm going to live in my mansion. You know what I'm saying? While the rest of us is out here every day. Every day. You mowing the lawn. You got something happens at your house. You got to fix it yourself. Because they don't care about us. They don't care about us. They lie more than they tell the truth. That's 100% facts. They lie more than they tell the truth. And they're going to keep on lying because that's the only thing they know to do. That's the only thing they know to do. Same thing with the whole Epstein thing. That's why we're here. We're going to talk about the Epstein thing now. If you don't know by now, Jeffrey Epstein was the co-conspirator of a sex ring, I guess you would say, right? And you would come over to his island and you would partake into whatever you wanted, and then he would film it. He would film it, and then he would blackmail you with it. And then he would either A, use you as votes, or B, take your money. You had a choice because you didn't want that video coming out. You know what I'm saying? It would upset the wife and the kids. You didn't want that coming out. Remember that one politician that said all they do is have coke-filled orgies? And they invited him, the guy in the wheelchair. He left Congress. I mean, if you're in Congress, you're controlled. You got to remember, there's only 100 people. 100 people are in the Senate. And 435 are in the House? So 500 people out of 350 million people that are here in the United States? Of course they got control. You know what I'm saying? Of course they got control. You know what I'm saying? They will shoot you in your back and not steal your Rolex. They don't care. They don't care. They do not care. Just to prove it, we're going to put some videos up. I guess let's put some videos up because that's the only way. That's how I like to learn. I like to learn through videos and see stuff. You know what I'm saying? I can hear stuff or read stuff. I don't take it in. I don't take it in so much. But if I see something, I'm like, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? Now we're a part of the system. So we're just going to break it on down. We're slowly going to go over everything, I guess. But none of it makes no sense. The conclusion, the James Dennehy, who was hiding the Epstein files. Remember, he came out and he got a standing ovations for hiding the Epstein files. So maybe we start here and figure out why this guy was hiding stuff. But right here is the old FBI guy. This is the original guy that was hiding the Epstein files.
An extraordinary scene outside of the New York FBI office in the last hour. Assistant Director in charge, James Dennehy, who was forced to resign under pressure this week left the building to cheers from hundreds of his colleagues.
There you go. That's the
and the
deep
sound
state.
of bagpipes. He was forced out after clashing with Donald Trump's Justice Department.
Yeah, he clashed with Donald Trump's Justice Department over the Epstein files. He didn't want to release the Epstein files, right? So you got that guy, right? He's out there. He's out there. Just like you got Alan Dershowitz. You got Alan Dershowitz, the lawyer, Trump's impeachment lawyer. He was a part of Jeffrey Epstein's case back in Florida, back in what was it, 2007 or something, where Epstein got arrested. And he could leave the jail. He's the only person that gets arrested and can leave the jail and tell him to put a TV in his room. You know what I'm saying? Got to have some type of connection to get that going. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're the boss's son or something. That's the only way I see something like that happening. But you even got fake Jake Tapper out here. Remember Jake Tapper was out here talking about how Joe Biden was out here. He was healthy and smart. And then he wrote a book and said, oh, Joe Biden was dumb and stupid. Jake Tapper's talking about the Epstein files. He's talking about the Epstein files. This is the nonsense we're into right here. This is the nonsense. Just play with fake Tapper's got to say. Pay attention, people. Pay attention. You can't vote your way out of this, I promise. We cannot vote our way out of this.
On here? I mean, what's really going on? Well, experts such as our friend Julie Brown from the Miami Herald, who's been covering Epstein for years, say that the notion of Epstein having an easy-to-access client list is likely a red herring. And that's what the Trump administration is relying on, that there likely isn't a list per se. But they are also now relying on the fact that because it's MAGA influencers who often put forward so many falsehoods, legacy news media won't push the point, that while there might not be a list, there are certainly files that can be released. There's a trove of information that the Trump administration is right now refusing to share. Information that could well point to the powerful folks who availed themselves of the sex trafficking victims of Jeffrey Epstein. If you go, for example, to the FBI vault online, you can see that there are 22 files containing thousands of pages. Most of them are heavily redacted. Now, sure, of course, redact the names and identifying characteristics of the victims. But why not make the victim and witness testimonies public? As Julie Brown points out, there's still so much we don't know from the investigations by U.S. attorneys in Miami and in New York, witness interviews in the U.S. Virgin Islands and New Mexico. Brown writes that there's still more evidence that hasn't been published, including, quote, Epstein kept video cameras in most of his residences, and Epstein's autopsy, nor the report of the investigation into his death, has ever been made public. So while there may not be an official client list to be released, as the administration is now saying, there's a lot of extra information that is not being made public, despite Trump's Justice Department basically now saying case closed. This isn't going to go away.
This isn't going to go away, Jake Tapper says. It's not going to go away. It's going away. It's gone. It's gone with the wind. Trump playing 4D chess for us? Fuck no, bro. Trump ain't playing no 4D chess. Trump got shot at in Butler, Pennsylvania. That was them telling you, if you're not going to play ball, then you're going to die. Trump's like, whoa, wait a minute. I want to put hotels up. You know what I'm saying? Hotels. I want to leave a legacy for my family. I want to be shot dead. Saying he don't want to turn into any more craziness than he already is. And I'm still with Trump. I'm with Trump. I voted for him 3 times. And I would vote for him again on the 4th term when he runs again. I'll vote for him. But he's got to show me something with this Epstein file, this whole nonsense. And then they showed the door. Remember when they said they didn't have Epstein tape? Like, oh, the tape malfunctioned of the door. And it didn't work. But now it does work. And then we had videotape of the door that came out. And then all of a sudden, there's a minute missing. There was a minute missing from the video. And it's not even the same door. I mean, Google it. Go on Twitter. Go on Facebook, TikTok. Just type in Epstein door. You will see it's a completely different door. And it's missing 1 minute. And then Pam Bondi comes out. Come, listen to this. Listen to this. She comes out and she's like, oh, all the tapes have a minute missing at the end because they turn them in. What kind of... Anybody who has a security camera knows that it's recording 24/7. They were just so dumb that they didn't think people would realize, because I think it was like an 8-hour tape they put out. They're like, nobody's going to watch all this. But of course they were. And they found the minute missing. That could have been the minute they walked Jeffrey Epstein out. Who knows if Jeffrey Epstein's still dead? Only thing we ever seen was him on like some stretcher laid out. And some people say that wasn't even him. And Ghislaine's still in jail, right? Supposedly. But why does nobody want to interview her? Not one media outlet want to interview her. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to interview her. And you remember when Trump came out talking about how Bill Clinton was going to be in a lot of trouble with Epstein? Because that's where Epstein first got put on the radar for a lot of people. He walked in and out of the Bill Clinton White House for a long time. A lot of people don't know Bill and Hillary Clinton, I believe it was Mecca, Arkansas. They made a movie after it. They were running cocaine out of there. They were running cocaine out of Arkansas, left and right. And who was the governor? Bill Clinton. Or maybe they get a one-term senator and turn him into a president like they did Barack Obama. So it's a show and pony show, and we're just here for the ride. I'm just here for the ride. And at this point now, I'm just like, I can't, nothing I can do no more. Nothing I can do. Nothing we can do. We can't vote our way out of this. We can't vote our way out of this. And then here's Trump talking about Jeffrey Epstein, the mythological creature. He's like a unicorn, I guess, at this point. But here's Trumpy.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
Famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. Yep. Y'all don't like and sub up, I swear. Y'all upset me. Can we like and sub up? I'd like to generate some money and show her some respect. You're watching here, like and sub up. If not, we still going to do it anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because we get enjoyment out of this. Just think about this. A few years back, y'all stumble across the old show. You're like, oh, look at the young Unk. Young Unk out here doing his thing. But I don't know. Maybe we ain't got the right tech. I don't know. Maybe we ain't got the right tech. Maybe we got to do something else. Maybe we got to just get a pool and then build like a ramp and then just slide into the pool with a ramp. Maybe that'll get the people going. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get the people a little juicy out here. Get them going. We're having fun. We're excited. But no, it don't work. Because the deep state's going to keep deep stating. And if you really think about it, it's like, yeah, you get Kash Patel and Dan Bongino up in there. But, I mean, the FBI, how deep is the FBI? What, they got 20,000 employees, 30,000 employees, 40,000 employees, 100,000 employees? Just because you're at the top, you're not in all the circles, the cliques. It's like high school, right? You got people over here, people over here, people over there, and people can keep secrets. They can keep secrets. But you know who can't keep secrets? The IRS, right? Them 1099s are getting filled out. All this money from AIPAC, from Israel, all these influencers. Hey, Bibi Netanyahu, send me a check, sponsor the show. I'll talk nothing lovely about our greatest ally, Israel. My greatest ally, Israel. You can buy me. You can buy me. Buy me.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Look at this dumb motherfucker.
Hey, we just doing what we doing. But I guess we're going to get out of here. And this is what upset me the most is that Trump gets this question asked to him today about Jeffrey Epstein. And he answered the same way as, like, remember when he dropped the F-bomb about Israel and Iran? It's like, these fucking countries don't know what they're doing. That's the type of level pissed he was at this. And I don't know if it has with Netanyahu was in Washington, D.C. I know Macron and his boyfriend were in the UK to visit the king. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on. They got a lot of budgets out here. The P. Diddy trial. How's Puff Daddy get off? He's literally on video kidnapping Cassie, dragging her back in the room. But he gets off from trafficking, he's all part of the show too. And then here's the thing about that. There's something going to happen probably around October because that's going to be Puff Daddy's Sentencing Day. So they'll want to get everybody focused in on that. Just like how we had a whole month straight, the 12-day war with Israel. Everything was pro-Israel. Israel's the greatest. They're our greatest ally. They steal from us. They stole secrets in the 80s and gave it to the Russians. But Trump pardoned that guy. But here's the big question of the day is, why is Trump acting like this when asked about Jeffrey Epstein? And Trump don't like to be upstaged, and he showed his colors here, which is I do not like why Trump did this. Let's pull this up and watch this.
Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the death?
Yeah, sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
Why don't Trump like that? Let's replay this question. It's a good question, and you can tell it upsets them. Let's run it back just a little bit.
Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape
1 minute.
on the night of the death?
Yeah, sure.
Could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a
Hello?
question on
Someone's
Epstein
calling.
at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Every minute's missing. Bitch, please. Bitch, please. They lying right to our faces. Lying right to our faces. And they love it. They love to lie right to our faces. There's just a minute missing. You're still talking about this creep? Jeffrey Epstein? We got Texas flood. They've loaded up Texas flood. It flooded. God rest their souls out there, and may God look over them with prayers. We should pray up for Texas, but we should pray up all over the United States and the world to make it a better place. Because if we keep going with this nonsense and just letting these, I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're just greedy or they just don't care about America or Americans, but it is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. It's the only thing that explains any of this. And we're going to get on out of here because it just upsets me. It just makes me want to, makes me not want to vote no more. It makes me not want to vote, but still get out and vote. Get out and register to vote. And it's time to turn the tables. We got to turn the tables. Power to the people, baby. Got to take the power back. Got to let them know that we're not going to let up. We're not going to let up on this little blackmail campaign that these boys is under, these men and women. They get you all. Everybody, judges, doctors, scientists, got them all. Remember COVID? They told you to hop on one foot and take this shot and you'd be all better. It's all lies. Every single thing is a lie. And it's peace and love, baby. It's peace and love. And we're going to get on out of here. Remember, you got to protect yourselves at all times. You in the jungle, baby. You in the jungle. And anybody watch that Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning? I thought that was great. Go watch yourself some rock history. Black Sabbath, one of the greatest bands of all time. Ozzy Osbourne, one of the greatest frontmen of all time. And we're going to get on out of here, but we're going to be back. We'll come back with some card rips for you simpies and norms. Y'all collecting that cardboard. We'll be back with that. And we gone, baby. We gone. We'll see you. Mañana, baby. Mañana.